up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. They go play action here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Sheldon Richardson forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. From the gun, it's Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Following the interception, Cousins. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Throwing, Cousins. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that. Give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Cousins. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And his kick is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now a handoff looking right. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Everson Griffin in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving him past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Wilson. Caught by Nelson left side. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. They went right back to him there, figuring one big play deserves another. You think maybe he called for it and said, hey, give me the ball again?
I think a lot of people operate under the whole idea of if they haven't stopped it, go until they do. You go right back at a guy because maybe his confidence might not be as high. In this case, he responded well.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. And they'll go with a ground attack here. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Can't afford another delay here as they come up again on 2nd and goal. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Stepping up, he'll try and run. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. He'd had some success as a runner previously on this drive, just not as much space there that time.
Yeah, this time when he pulled it down, they were ready for him, so I think he's going to have to fling a few in order to open up that running lane again.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? 3rd and goal, here's the option left. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will tie us at 3-3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Mike Daniels makes the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Play action now, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Thielen with his first catch, and it's a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Second down, Cousins. Sliding it, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
3rd and long for Cousins. And the pressure gets to him again. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's a right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
that.
Toe bashed. Super toe.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Flushed out right. Pass incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Tackle made there by Zach Brown.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. On 2nd down, Cook. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Here's Cousins. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Yellow.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-3. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to New Orleans after this.
Let's go!
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync.
Let's go!
Only way to play good defense.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Daniil Hunter in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Ohio!
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. Looking deep downfield. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And it's fielded at the 34. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. And out now come the Vikings. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Two. Rhino. Right there.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down. Here's Brad Nordman now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Looking sideline, incomplete. J.J. Nelson, the intended target. And now it's second down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Steps away to his left. Room past the 20. And finally taken down at the 26-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wilson. Going for the deep ball. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he could. Shake. Couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. A first down throw for Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Hey, flipper. Wide. Black, 82. Check, 53, fight.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Dancing to his left. Shedding the tackle. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Final play of the half, Cousins. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Wait, you're hot.
Cousins to throw it. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be 3rd and 10. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Lucky 50.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. A first throw here for the backup Taylor. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. And they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
From midfield now, here's Taylor. Buying time to his left. Taylor able to use those legs of his to pick up a first.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Rolling to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Ready. 319. 319. Slow.
Alert 3.
2nd and 10 now. It's Taylor. And over the middle, this is Parker. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
4 down. Alert.
Taylor running the option left. He can run for it, and he will. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I'm going to hit you all day, baby.
On 2nd down, here's Taylor. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. He was looking for Parker that time.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 15.
4 down, check. Back, here we go.
Following the interception, Cousins. Forced out, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Clay Matthews in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Again, this is Cook. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. On play action, Cousins. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Mike Daniels able to get in there and drop him behind the line. Here's Brad Nortman now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. That's taken it around the 40. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Taylor incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Taylor. Throwing again. Gets it to Meredith, complete. That goes for a gain of 31. And at this stage, down in the 2nd half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did. I
think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. On 2nd down, Taylor eluding the pressure right. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. The Saints on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Check the backer, check the backer.
From the shotgun, it's Taylor. That is caught at the 7. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
4 down, 4 down. 56 to Mike.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
They start the drive with Cook. Spins past him. He's got room to run past the 20. And finally taken down at the 26-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. He's got a man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And that one results in 35 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Hey.
Handoff comes to Cook. And down inside the 35 he goes to the 32-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Clay Matthews in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Cousins. Over the middle, complete. That's Collins. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now Taylor to throw on second down. Throw left side taken in by Meredith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
Slow.
Now Taylor on first down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 46, and he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Now Cook. And he showcases the spin, a pretty good gain before he's taken down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
Liz, 50, here we go.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. And now this defense trying to use the clock to their advantage. They'll take the timeout here with 2:08 left, and then they'll have another stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. The Vikings on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Play fake, Cousins. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we've still got this locked down. But that's not necessarily true, is it?
You know, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
You got 3 down.
They begin the drive with Pumphrey. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever is in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
It's complete to Parker left side. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Taylor. That's caught by Meredith right side. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11. Now it's Taylor. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands. Yeah,
versatility and showing those hands. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cook. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
The Vikings on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Lucky 48.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Vikings, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.